right, we're back with our final segment with Joe Gruters. All right, Joe, I've already predicted that Vern Buchanan is going to be our next governor, that Charlie Crist is going to run for Senate, Vern's going to run for governor. I know you can't say what Vern's going to do or might do, but if he does vacate that seat, who do you think might be out there interested in running for Congress?
Yeah, I don't know. I truly don't know what Vern's going to do yet. But if he were to move up as party chairman, you do get a lot of people calling you and giving you names or telling you they want to run. And it's going to be a great group of candidates, I think. It would be an exciting race to see because immediately you'd have Senator Mike Bennett and Senator Nancy Dieter who don't need to vacate their races. They're both definitely in. Then in Bradenton, you look at guys like Bill Galvano, Joe McClash, maybe Pat Neal, maybe even Paul Scharf. In Sarasota, you have entrepreneurs and successful people like Henry Rodriguez, you have Chris Fowler, you have Doug Holder, state representative, who's eyed it, and then you have like dark horses, guys like Rich Swire, who has a commanding presence and who's out and about in a lot of places. So it would be a complete free-for-all
if you had all
those candidates. And there might be more. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you may see 10, 12 candidates.
You really think Nancy Dieter would run? I
think that she's definitely. Really? She doesn't have to give up her Senate seat. Why not run?
True. That's a good
Why not?
point.
It's a free pass. And she did so well in the last time. So
if all of those people ran, my pick would be Galvano. That's my prediction.
I think it'd be a good race. I think a lot
Dieter would be tough to beat, though.
I think you'd have to. I would go with one of the conservatives.
Okay, then it'd be Galvano. I'm not speaking for you. All right, real quick then. In 2006, the Herald Tribune beat up Vern Buchanan. Every single day they did a story about Sir Speedy, about Ohio, or where. I mean, it was always something. Every day there was something negative about Vern in the paper. But that kind of turned around in 2008, and they actually endorsed him 2 years later. Why did they beat up on him so bad, and then why did they change their mind?
Well, Ron, it's funny that you asked that question because a week before the endorsement came out for 2008, I told Vern there's no way possible that you're going to get the Tribune's endorsement. He said, just wait and see. And he was right. He's such an optimistic guy all the time. That's one of the reasons why I like him so much. But I think the reason why he was able to get the endorsement in 2008 is because of the job he was able to do. I think people look at Vern and they see a guy that's actually trying to do the right thing on a day in, day out basis. I mean, he truly cares about what's going on in the community, and he truly cares about his constituents.
Joe, your campaign for Vern that you ran in 2008 was incredibly successful. How do you account for the dramatically increased margin of victory over Christine Jennings?
Why, of course, the campaign manager. No, really, I'd like to take
that part of it.
I'd like to take credit, but honestly, it was nobody other than Vern. But he has a great team here in Sarasota with Sally Tibbetts and Danny Ballou and a team in Bradenton, an even better team in D.C. And so they've helped provide the structure to make Vern successful. But at the end of the day, Vern does the right thing every single day. He does what he thinks is best. You got to think with his position, he doesn't have to answer to anybody. He doesn't have to take any questions. He's not beholden to any special interest group. He can go up to D.C. and every day do the right thing, and that's why he's so successful. That's why people like him, and that's why he had the largest victory margin increase in the entire country out of any Republican candidate.
Joe, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Ron, thank you so much. You're a great guy.
Now it's time for our Weasel of the Week, everybody's favorite. Our Weasels of the Week are the entire Venice City Council, with the exception of Vicki Noreen Taylor. Venice has absolutely the worst bunch of idiots running their city commission. These guys are complete morons, and they all need to be dragged out of office. This silly little Sunshine Law lawsuit that started out over just emails going back and forth could have been settled 10 months ago for $20,000. But no, they decided not to do that because they figured it was just a young community activist filing a silly lawsuit. He had a solo practitioner, young, inexperienced attorney, so they decided, well, we'll show them, we'll bury them in discovery. We'll bury them with 140,000 pages of documents, 800 trial exhibits, 26 witnesses, and we'll make these pipsqueaks go away. Well, that attorney brought in an outside large law firm, and they proceeded to bill and bill the hours. This was a loser lawsuit from the beginning. The Venice City Commissioners should have understood that, and all they did was crank the meter and get it running. Now they're going to have to settle the lawsuit, and instead of paying $20,000 to the plaintiffs, they're going to have to pay about $2 million in attorney's fees, all over emails. Why in the world did they take this course of action? Now, who has to pay the bill? The taxpayers. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out of these city commissioners' pockets. But let's hope that the city of Venice, the voters in the city of Venice, throw these bums out. That's it for Clout 941. Next week, we got a fresh face, a new guy, candidate, the son of Manatee County Sheriff Brad Stubbe, who's running for state representative in 2010. See you next week.